Hello, everybody, and welcome to another dynamic, exciting show of the Chocolate Bros
Hi.
review show. You're
Hi.
here with Brian.
Hi.
I'm Adam. We're the Chocolate Bros.
Hi.
Hi. When I used to take karate at the dojo, you would do one of these.
That's right.
Cover the fist. It was Japanese style.
That's right.
What was it called? Goju.
Hey,
Hi. So you're here for the review show. On this show, we review other people's chocolates.
we do.
We own Fortunato Chocolate. Check us out at www.fortunatochocolate.com or visit one of our 2 retail locations
Yes.
in Issaquah, Washington.
The
Now,
lovely city of Issaquah, Washington,
Beautiful.
where we are sitting right now.
we are just
Yes.
outside the door here is a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
Pacific Northwest summer day.
It is nice.
Where it's beautiful out but not too hot.
Mm-hmm.
We're surrounded by hills that are covered in pine trees.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful people. Come
Yeah.
on over to Issaquah and visit our chocolate
Some
shops.
would call
meet
them
us, meet
mountains.
us in person.
Some would call them mountains.
I would know-
Squawk Mountain, Cougar Mountain, Tiger Mountain.
They're misnamed.
They're called the Issaquah Alps.
I'm sorry. Well, they're misnamed.
You wouldn't call hills Alps.
They're misnamed. I do that on 2. I say that on 2 grounds. First,
Okay.
I was just in southern Peru. We were in the Sacred Valley.
Those are mountains.
Those are real
the
mountains.
Andes are definitely mountains.
And then
no doubt.
then you mentioned the Alps. We have a Swiss customer who visits our shop,
Mhm.
and we got to talking about mountains right after I got back from Peru.
Mhm.
And he said, "Yeah, these are not mountains.
Right.
They're misnamed. These are hills."
Okay.
So I call them hills, bro.
Okay.
If the Swiss call them hills, I'm calling them hills.
So whatever the Swiss say is what you're
As
going
it pertains to mountains.
for. Okay. Only as it pertains to
As
mountains.
because-
Political neutrality, not necessarily.
I'd probably go for that.
Okay.
All right. I think
enough.
everybody has to keep a gun in their house in
Fair
Switzerland
enough.
as well.
Yes, I believe that's
Where,
true.
where do you stand on that?
I mean, if as long as it's well controlled, I think they have a low gun murder rate, so it seems like it's working for them.
I think the Swiss, they're
I try not to opine on things that I don't know much about. I don't know much about that, so I'm just gonna say good luck to all of
Swiss,
you with
yeah.
all of that.
Auf Wiedersehen, Swiss.
Yes.
Switzerland.
Auf Wiedersehen.
You do such a good fake German accent.
Yeah.
Nice. Hopefully we get another fake German word out of you before it's all said. and done.
Jawohl.
That's not a word. You just said that. With,
That is a word.
You just said that with verb.
Jawohl.
What does it mean?
That means
It's not a word.
It's
You're
a
just
word.
saying it with verb, dude. And so it
I think
sounds
it just
real.
means yes, like yes, sir.
All right. The purpose of this show, other than just the scintillating banter,
We review chocolate.
we review chocolate bars.
Yes.
We're mostly focusing on other people's chocolate bars for 2 reasons.
Well, we're completely
two reasons.
focusing on other people's chocolate. We've
Correct.
never reviewed our
We're
own
completely. That's right. Pardon me.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for the.
chocolate. Be precise, if nothing else, Adam.
Thank you for the real
If you
time.
can't be funny or intelligent, at least be precise.
Thank you for the real-time editorial feedback. You're just mad 'cause I busted you on that fake German word.
That's a real. Jawohl is a real word.
What does it mean?
I think it means yes, sir.
All right, we're
Like,
gonna.
it's just yes.
if
yeah.
you Google it-
it's like ja, but wohl. Jawohl.
Hey, Google it. Put it in the comments if you're watching.
I was gonna look it up, but
I'm
I don't,
not- no,
I don't
it's
have
not-
to satisfy you. I only have to satisfy these good people that are watching the show.
After the show is over, I'm gonna look it up and
okay.
I will put it
You're
in the
gonna be
comments.
very
I'm gonna
embarrassed.
put it in the comments
Good.
of our own video.
Good prediction. Disaster.
What do you think it means?
I think it means yes, sir.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're usually right about this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 2 reasons why we're reviewing other people's chocolates, primarily, entirely. First, it's summer. It's not that easy to buy our chocolate online and have us ship it to you. It might melt on the way.
That's it. We don't use thermal shipping materials
don't.
for reasons that we explain on the website.
And then we'd like to, if there's good options out there, other good options that are ethically made and delicious, that are easily accessible to you in your local markets, we'd like to help you find out about those. And the second thing is we just kind of want to remember what's out there. For a long time, we've only eaten our own
Taking the
chocolate.
pulse.
Keeping our fingers on the pulse of the.
Right there, 2 fingers, bam,
push
right
it
on
in there
right on
hard.
the old pulse.
Hey, I went to the pharmacy because one of my kids needed a prescription. Took my blood pressure one day,
Yeah.
and it said I was a little bit high.
Uh-huh.
And then I went back the very next day, and
Yeah.
it said I was wildly low.
Really?
Those blood pressure machines, they're finicky. Something's up with them.
Something could be up with you.
Oh, you think
I
I'm
mean,
finicky?
I don't know.
My pressure is very variable.
I'm no doctor, and I'm also not a blood pressure machine in a pharmacy, but I'm just saying, like, it could be you, man.
All right.
Yeah.
If it was a blood pressure machine in a pharmacy in the German language, how would it sound?
Mein Maschine de blood pressure? I don't know.
Much worse. All right, so it's going downhill.
That was like Spanglish, Machina.
Yeah, it was not,
yeah.
not great.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be, why don't you show them the bar we're going to be reviewing?
Okay,
there,
let me
Brian?
introduce this bar. So we've been trying to find bars that are available in grocery stores and other retail establishments that are everybody can frequent.
Widely accessible.
Widely accessible. Now, the bar that I found today, it's from a brand that most of you have probably seen or may know about, but I've never associated them with chocolate before. This is a brand near and dear to my heart. It's a soap brand primarily, and I'm talking about Dr. Bronner's. Now, Dr. Bronner's makes amazing soap. I use their soap every day in the shower. And I swear by this soap. It is absolutely fantastic. Dr. Bronner's is a brand of all natural soap. I never knew they had anything going on in the edible world, and they're famous for having labels with lots of text on them, lots of little bits of text on them that tell their story And it was originally started back in the 40s by a German Jewish immigrant to the United States called, I think, Emmanuel Bronner. And he was a spiritual, he would spend some time in an insane asylum, actually, in a mental institution, came out and had a spiritual awakening while he was in there, and spent the rest of his life teaching his spiritual teachings to people that would attend meetings of his, and also selling them soap. And his soap also has a label that is full of this tiny little text, very, very dense with spiritual. His catchphrase, or their catchphrase, is all one. And
it's pretty funny. We were reading the little bit of a history of this company, and it said at some point he realized people were coming to his religious presentations
just to buy the soap.
They really just wanted the soap.
Right.
They were hanging out to hear the presentation, but they were really there for the soap.
His soap company was originally a tax-exempt spiritual church institution. It later lost its tax exemption and became a regular for-profit business. It is still run by the Bronner family, by I think the fourth generation of the Bronner family,
I think that's what it
out
said.
of Vista, California, very near where we grew up in San Diego.
From San Diego,
And I'm excited to try. So we always have a great deal of respect for products that express their desire to do something positive and make a difference in the world. We want them to be ethical and delicious if it's possible. We don't know if this is delicious yet, but Dr. Bronner's, I have to believe they don't just talk a good game. They probably run a good game.
Let me just say that very succinctly, Brian, because
I ran on too much for
you
your taste. Okay, so
hey,
short up for me.
Published author.
Yeah.
You're
a wordsmith.
You have a wordsmith. You're a storyteller. We like people who care.
Yes.
I think I'm just going to say it like that. We like products made by people who care.
That's right.
Who care about what they're doing. And a lot of these chocolate bars we've tasted, it just has been obvious. The company that made it did not care at all.
Yes.
So all of what Brian just said,
the Dr. Bronner's organization,
they care. They seem
clearly
to
care.
They seem to care.
So,
which earns points for me.
That's right.
This
is Dr. Bronner's All One Chocolate. You can see right there. All One is their kind of catchphrase. So this is smooth coconut praline chocolate. Dark chocolate, 70% cocoa, sweetened with coconut sugar.
Okay.
So right off the bat, it's
going to taste like coconut
praline
sugar.
Probably implies a filled bar. It's very thick, like a filled bar would. There's a lot of text on here. I can't get into it all.
It's too much.
I'll just read a little bit. And so, by the way, their marketing text is pseudo-spiritual
but it's cool. I mean,
extremely dense.
But if you like that kind of thing, it's pretty cool.
But here's the pertinent stuff without the spiritual stuff. Cocoa magic for you, earth, and farmers. On our way to regenerative, organic certified, we're making magic with cocoa farmers through regenerative, organic agriculture and its many benefits: biodiversity, soil fertility, better farmer livelihoods, and delicious, rich, dark chocolate. Read more inside the label.
We agree with all that.
That is so near and dear to our hearts because that's what we're doing.
Yep, we do the same thing.
That is
with
exactly
the
what we're doing.
Yep.
I'll get into the inside of the label. Let me just get the ingredients. Fair trade organic cocoa beans, fair trade organic coconut sugar, fair trade organic coconut, fair trade organic cocoa butter, fair trade organic coconut milk powder, organic sunflower oil, fair trade organic bourbon vanilla beans. So it's a very coconut intensive bar. I'm anticipating, and it's smooth coconut praline.
Usually when things
this is going to be highly coconutty.
Usually when things have coconut sugar in them, just as a rule of thumb, they taste like coconut sugar.
And this has coconut praline filling in it as well.
Yeah, but coconut sugar itself has a very, very strong distinctive flavor.
You can see a lot of information included in there.
And we know the cacao's coming from Ghana.
The cacao is coming from one small community with 800 farmers in their regenerative, organic certified Serendipom project in Ghana.
Cool.
I'm sure you can look it up on their website.
Very cool.
But Dr. Bronner's, as a longtime fan of your products, I just want to say, before we even taste the chocolate, kudos. Seriously, kudos for believing in this, running a project in Ghana, helping farmers. It couldn't be nearer or dearer to our hearts. This is what we do.
Check out their soap too. We'll tell you if now. So all that being said, I really hope it's a good bar of chocolate.
So do I.
Because we won't be able to sign off on it if it doesn't taste good.
No, we're going to be honest about the taste, but I have to tell you. So the soaps that I use of theirs, they're kind of famous. They have big bottles of liquid soap.
I bought them before. Yeah, I bought them
liquid soap. You can use it. You can use it as toothpaste. It's so pure. You can use it to wash dishes. I use it to wash my body.
You can't use all dish soap as toothpaste?
Try it. Let me know. But by the way, they make it's hard to find the second kind of soap that they make. They make their regular liquid soap, and they make another one called sugar soap, which is just a little bit granular. Oh, I love this soap. That's all I use. That's all I will use is Dr. Bronner sugar soap. So here we go. It's okay. Right off the bat, we don't like the thin like sealed.
I usually I don't because once you open this up, it's going to be hard to put it back away.
So it's got that thing going against it, but they're far from alone in that.
I would be surprised if this bar So I already have a pretty good idea of what Ghanaian cacao tastes like. So I'm assuming this is going to be sort of just like a generic,
Right.
straight down the line.
But this is a filled bar.
Flavor
It's
profile.
all about the filling.
It is all about the inclusion, but I'm just guessing, based on everything we know, that this company wouldn't put out a bar that they didn't
That's
like,
right.
that they didn't actually care about
Their
and like.
soaps are spot on. Oh, I should mention, by the way, this bar is made in Switzerland, so it's not
So
made
they're
at their
outsourced
plant in
the
Vista. That's right.
manufacturing. Yep.
It's made in Switzerland, so I don't know what that means, but so they're running a project in Ghana, and
Or they're working as a part of a project.
or
in
working
Ghana.
as part of a project in Ghana. But the beans are going through some
Ghana
kind of a
to
standard
Switzerland.
route to Switzerland,
Yep.
which is a very common route. What we don't know is who's making the filling, what the filling is
It
going to be
must all
like.
be made in Switzerland.
I assume so
Yeah.
because the bar
But
itself
we don't
is
know.
made
But
in
we don't know what
Switzerland.
company is doing.
We
it.
don't know.
Okay,
No. So here is.
that's a pretty cool mold. Although it looks like the back of the bar has kind of fell out of temper.
It's a little
there.
bit out of temper. The back of the bar is a little bit out of temper. You can see it's a thick mold as befits being a praline, and it says all one.
The top is a little out of temper as well.
Am I holding that up the wrong way?
But that's very not likely Dr.
Yeah,
Bronner's
it says
fault.
all one. It probably so this has come on a long trip, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's just been through. Okay.
Okay, so it's got the
Yes,
it's got the
so
filling.
it's definitively out of temper. It's got that spongy out of temper look on the inside, and that's almost certainly from heat
Well,
that it
is
experienced.
that? But that's not the filling.
Oh well,
that's
you might
probably-
be
that's
right.
probably
Now
the
that I
filling.
look at it, I wasn't expecting the filling to be quite that firm. No, you're right. That's the filling. I take it back. The chocolate is not. Well, the chocolate is also out of temper.
The
though. You can-
chocolate is out of temper,
you can
but
see
the
you can
crumbly,
see the sponginess, but the
crumbly on the inside.
So it's a very firm coconut filling inside there. It's not
And because-
gloopy or liquidy
and
at all.
because it's out of temper, the chocolate's melting on my fingers.
Now, by the way, the coconut is not overwhelming the aroma.
Either one of us can set it off, Brian. Either me or you.
Okay. For 70% cacao, the chocolate's not registering much.
No.
It's a little chocolate deficient. I'm shocked that the filling is not more like coconut blasting me.
Yeah. Or praline blasting you.
Right. So it's a very, it's scaled down. My first initial impression is I like the fact that it's a little sweeter than I would like. The filling is sweeter than I would like. A little too much coconut sugar, but it's not blowing me out with coconutiness. Now that it's melted on my tongue, and I actually do. So you can't really pick up the chocolate, but then it starts to meld and blend in the middle. The up front is kind of all coconut, but it's not like overwhelmingly coconutty. It's a little too sweet on the up front. I like the texture. It's got little bits of actual coconut. They give it some texture that are a little bit chewy.
I do. I like the texture as
Yeah,
well.
I like the texture. The aroma is kind of pallid. It's not got super aroma. In the middle of the taste, the chocolate starts to come in, and it's actually blending a little bit, and it's bringing a little bitterness to that sweetness, and I like the way those are mixing together. And I'm waiting for the tail to come in. What do you think? What's your initial, your up front and your middle?
Well, the one thing that you said, which I agree with entirely, is that there really is no discernible chocolate. There's very
when
little.
you put it in your mouth, no.
There's very little chocolate, and it's thin. I mean, the chocolate, although it's not that thin, so it's. I would say that this bar is not. There's nothing obviously wrong with it. It doesn't taste bad. I wouldn't say that this bar is over the top delicious. I think that the filling has a nice texture to it. Although even the filling, it's a little bit hard for you to. It's a little muddled. To me, the whole thing. I'll just put it like this. To me, the whole thing is a little bit muddled. It's not like if somebody just gave this to you blind and you didn't even know it was chocolate,
Right.
and you just ate it. I don't think you would even really know what to call this.
Oh, I do.
I don't. I mean, so they're calling this.
You would know it was coconut.
They're calling this a smooth. Well, they're calling it a smooth coconut praline.
Okay, right.
Right.
So it's not
with
even meant to
chocolate
be
bar.
so much of a chocolate bar as it is like a bar-shaped bonbon kind of a thing, maybe.
Like a bar, and we know they're heavy on coconut. So the predominant flavor is coconut.
Yes.
And the good
on
thing,
the upfront, but the chocolate does come
So-
in for me.
but very slightly. I don't think
Well-
it comes in very much. So
It's that, but it's that typical Ghanaian cacao bitterness that comes through. You can
a
taste
little,
it.
a little bit.
I-
Well, we can agree to
yeah,
disagree. But
yeah.
so let me just finish
Go
up with
ahead,
my
go
notes,
ahead.
and we can agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine if you just put a blindfold over your face and someone gave this to you and said, call it something,
Okay.
or tell me what you think you're eating. It's like some kind of it's like a coconut filled something. The good thing about it is I don't find it to be over the top sweet. I like the texture.
Yeah.
I really like the texture. I like that sort of soft texture with the little pieces of coconut in it.
Yeah.
It's not over the top sweet. I wouldn't call it delicious. I'm not really personally looking for a sort of like a nondescript coconut filled item.
Right.
So this probably wouldn't, even though I really like coconut in some products, we have coconut products that I like a lot. To me, I just think it's a little muddled and not particularly well
Yeah.
executed for what it's. I'm not even sure what a coconut praline is.
So they're calling it a praline. A praline is typically like a filled, almost like a bonbon. Like it's a European style filled chocolate candy. They're calling it a praline. I have a feeling that because the chocolate is out of temper, we're not really getting the full effect of the chocolate.
That could be the case.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go out. I like this. I like this. I'm not. It's not a smash hit home run. I like it because they surprised me a little bit. I think they paid attention to the texture of the filling. I think they kept the coconut kind of in its lane. I suspect that the chocolate got underpowered by being out of temper, and it might ordinarily be a little bit more powerful and a little bit more melding. It's not. I think we went into this thinking it was a chocolate bar, and now that I read this, I don't think it is meant to be a chocolate bar. It's a praline.
It's a praline,
and a praline is something that means something different than a chocolate bar.
And it's delivering the filling.
It's delivering the filling. That's right.
Right. The chocolate might be like an accent, but its purpose is to deliver the filling.
And one of the main types of pralines, it's a very European thing, is an alcohol praline, an alcohol filled praline that has a hard sugar like crust on the inside that keeps the alcohol from from destroying the chocolate, and that's a very European style. This is definitely a European style praline in my opinion.
Yeah, made in Switzerland.
Made in Switzerland, and the chocolate. When I can pick up the chocolate as it comes through the mid and the tail, I can't pick out anything wrong with it. I can't.
Not particularly wrong, but it's not particularly pleasant either. It's all right.
Well, the only reason I say that is because when you're talking about a praline, you want to balance the factors, and I think the bitterness of the praline or the chocolate pulls back the sweetness of the coconut sugar and gives it some kind of balance. Now, it may not be the balance that you prefer, but I think they paid attention to trying to give it some balance.
Well,
that's all.
so for me, I didn't think that the filling was over the top sweet.
Okay.
I mean, I like the filling. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give it like a 7.5.
I'd agree 7.
Yeah, like it's not. I don't know how much this cost.
It was $5.
But I probably wouldn't if this was like, for example, we're gonna have to cut it off here pretty soon. Like if this is on the shelf at the same price as that Chuao bar, that mango Chuao bar, like the flavor on that popped so strongly that it was so delicious. I would want to buy it over and over again. I don't know that I would go back and buy this a second time had I bought it once. Would you buy it a second time?
I have to, like I say, I probably would to see if I could get one that was in temper to see if that helped the balance. But I have to say, my view on this is flavored by the fact that I love the mission of it.
So that's I would go back and support this company.
Yes.
Because of the mission.
I already do support the company.
And I would try to, and we have
another one. Yes.
So I would look for a different bar by them, because this one, in my opinion, was not like over the top delicious. It was good. Yeah. It was good. Like I would eat. We're not going to throw the bar away. We'll eat the whole bar.
Yes.
It was good enough for us to keep.
I feel
the
like
bar.
for you it was like a C+, and for me it was maybe a B-. But I think it could be different with better chocolate, and I think also coconut is not necessarily either of our favorite things.
Although I like coconut in certain
coconut.
situations, but I didn't think that this really popped.
It's not an explosion, but the knowledge of the social mission and what they're doing.
Yes,
and for my mind, takes it from a B- to a solid B+.
I would want to support them as a company.
That's right.
If I could.
That's
right. So listen, we're not going to have that much time to do the sign off because we're going to run long on time. If you want to check out our chocolate, www.fortunatochocolate.com, and if you like the show, please like and subscribe. Brian.
Hi.
Hi.